Okay, oh, we are live. Just give me a moment. So, uh, welcome everyone. Uh, I hope my screen is visible, audio is clear. So, as we know, this is the season of interviews for all the IDAM developers. You might be started getting different calls from different organizations, and since you apply as a Oracle Identity Manager developer or SailPoint developer, there is a pain point I can say is core Java. They minimum expect you should have a knowledge on core Java, and core Java itself is a very wide thing to learn. If you start going to understand the core Java in the market, it will take 3 to 4 month minimum to understand the thing, and to practice the things, it could take years, to master the things. Already in my Oracle Identity Manager Master Training Program, let me just quickly open the Chrome for you, and simply here just go idam.thinkific.com. So here you can see in my master training program I had covered the Java, whichever is required, introduction to core Java. Okay, all the core Java related terminologies and topics which you need, to be in line. But still, interview questions perspective, I'm covering it live. I had tried to cover, I will try to cover these things in multiple parts, like part one, part two, part three, maybe. So first today I will be just targeting the basic of Java, because Java itself have a different modules in core Java. The very basic, the introduction to Java, what kind of possible questions they can ask you in interview, I'm going to cover. So let's talk about the Java given by James Gosling, who is the father of Java and invented Java. Actually, the Java 1.0 came in 1995, and the father of Java is James Gosling. Okay, this sheet will be available to all my premium students. I will give it to you on WhatsApp group. So don't worry for that. And for the YouTube family, you can just go through the Q&A. So first of all, the very first question they could ask you, what is Java? When you go and sit for the interview, the very first level of question and expectation is, what is Java? So Java is an object-oriented programming language and platform. Why I'm saying Java is a platform? Because Java is object oriented, we all know, and this is the answer you can give. It's more than enough to answer this question. What is Java? It's an object oriented programming and platform. But why I use the word platform here? Platforms, what is mean by platform? Platform is a software or hardware in which program runs. For example, your operating system is a platform, right? So on top of your operating system, you run different programs like VLC Media Player, MS Word, right, on your operating system. So again, second question arise, why Java is called platform? So I'm going to answer this question over here. See, Java is having its own runtime environment, which is called JRE, Java Runtime Environment, to execute Java program. So Java doesn't depend on any other platform to run the programs. Okay, because it has its own platform. Let me just quickly explain it to you over here. See, Java have, whenever you install Java, automatically something called JRE is the installation, right? We install JRE, JDK, etc. So when you install JRE to your system, right? When you install JRE means you are installing Java, right? So this JRE, right, you can install in the Windows machine, you can install in the Linux machine, doesn't matter. You can install anywhere. Linux have its own JRE or JDK packages. Similar way, your Windows have its own JRE and JDK package. You can find in Oracle website. Okay. So when you install the JRE, okay, this JRE act like a platform. All the Java code go there and execute. Obviously, not the JRE is the exact word. In the JRE, we have a JVM. Okay, so if it is a window environment, Java program doesn't care. It's a window environment or Linux environment. For Java, what matter is, if your window environment is there and you are trying to execute your Java code, it will not execute. It will not execute. If you try to execute Java code or class file in your Linux environment, it will not execute. What it need one JRE to execute the code. So JRE is important for it. It doesn't care you are in Windows environment or Linux environment. If Java programs or class file sees you have a JRE installed, that's it. I'm going to execute over it. So this itself is giving a platform to the Java program. Since you are giving platform to the Java programs, so Java itself is a platform. You don't need any operating system platform to run Java. You need JRE, Java Runtime Environment, as a platform to run Java code. Okay, so Java is having its own environment or platform which is called JRE, and that's why Java is called platform. So what you will answer to this question if they will ask you the question, why Java is called platform? Because Java have JRE, and JRE is nothing but a platform, act like a platform for Java program. That's why Java itself is called JRE, is called platform. Now third question is, what is package, what is jar file, what is framework? Okay, so let me just clarify this question over here also to you. See, what is package? The very first question, what is package? Package is nothing but the collection of different class files. So for example, class file 1, like here you can see class 1, class 2, class 3, and so on. Class 1, class 2, class 3, dot, and so on. So package is nothing but the collection of classes. Then what was the next question? The next question was, what is jar file? So jar file is what? Jar file. Jar file. So what is a jar file? Jar file is nothing but collection of packages. So package 1, okay, or pkg, package 1, package 2. So multiple packages are called jar file. So this is a second answer of your question. Okay, so this purpose of this live video is, okay, is to give you the overview. Okay, you don't need to go through all the complete core Java classes, and you don't need to, again start typing the code, because see, officially it look like 2 3 months are enough, but when you do 2 days you will do, 3 days you will again not do. Okay, you will feel laziness, you will feel because whenever you try to learn something new, right, or maybe you forgot, right, let's say you were good at Java at some time ago, but you leave the practice. So when you leave the practice again, it will take a lot of time to come back to the track. Okay, so that's also a problem. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, whenever, this purpose of this live webinar is, whenever you just go through this jar file, go through this webinar, if you at least remember these answers, you will be easily able to answer the questions. Okay, so this is a part one. In this part one, I will be covering the initial level, introduction to Java level question which they ask. So what is a package? Collection of class. What is a jar file? Collection of package. And what is a framework? I think you will able to answer this question. What is a framework? What is a framework? What is a framework? Framework is nothing but collection of jar files. Okay, so framework is nothing but the collection of jar file. Jar 1, jar 2, jar 3, like that. So collection is nothing but framework is nothing but collection of jar files, jar 2, and so on. Okay, you may heard about different frameworks also in Java, but I'm not going in that. So what is a package? Package is a collection of class. Okay. What is jar file? Jar file is a collection of packages. Okay. When you combine multiple packages, it's become a jar file. Okay. And what is a framework? Framework is nothing but the collection of jar files. Okay. So this is how this hierarchy is there. So at least you should be aware of that. Now let's go to the next question. The next question is, I'm just zooming out to you. The next question is, learning core Java means learning which jar file. Which jar file you will learn. So learning core Java means you are going to learn something called rt.jar. When we learn rt.jar, this means you are learning core Java. So core Java learning means learning rt.jar. So this answer is also fine. Give some packages which is found in rt.jar. So there are several packages which are present in rt.jar. For example, com.oracle.io package is there, com.oracle.net package is there, com.oracle.util package is there, com.oracle, some name you just need to remember. Applet is there, com.oracle, okay, or java.applet. It's not com.oracle, java.applet. Okay, because it was from Sun Microsystem. Okay, java.awt. Okay, similarly we have java.rmi package, java.input output package, io package, java.lang, very common package. Okay, in string we use java.lang package. Okay, what else is there? You just need few names, that's it. Java.math package is there for mathematical operation. And you have Java, just let me increase the size. Okay, then we have java.util package. Okay, so util package was also in earlier modules also. So these are some packages which is available in rt.jar file. Okay, so this is how you can answer this question. Let's go to the next question. Java by default execute program sequentially or parallelly? They will ask you. In Java, if you written some lines of code, will it execute line by line or it will execute parallel? Okay. See, parallel, it's possible. You can use multi-threading to execute parallel, but by default, the nature of Java is to execute programs sequentially. If you want parallel execution, you have to use multi-threading or threading concepts. Okay, so this is the answer of this question. Why Java is called platform independent? This is again one of the very common question that has been asked. Why Java is called platform independent? Java, see, as you see in this diagram which I made earlier, okay, I had deleted that. See, this is a Windows operating system. For example, this is a Windows OS, okay, and this is a Linux OS, okay. As I told, when Java program goes for execution, it doesn't care. It's in Windows, it's in Linux. For Java program, the most important part is JVM, okay, or it's a JDK, or it's JRE. So it's JRE is there, or in the JRE we also say JVM is there inside JRE. Okay, similar way, if it is a Linux environment, also same thing. So when a Java program, let's say some program is there, this is a program, let's say test.java. So when a Java program goes for execution, okay, it is a Windows environment, doesn't matter. It's a Linux environment, doesn't matter. It looks for is its parent. Okay, the way, let's say when you have a kid and you went to some crowded place, and suddenly you just went little far from your kid, so your kid is afraid, and whom the kid will look for in that crowd? You only, right? Because you are the parent, you will take care of that. Similar way, Java program only look for is JRE or JVM, and when they see JVM, that's it. So Java execute on JVM, okay. Whatever the OS is installed doesn't matter for it, okay, because it's just take care about its JVM. So JVM make Java platform independent, whether it's a Windows, whether it's a Linux. Java just look for a JVM. It's a window, it will, if it has JVM, it will execute. It's a Linux, it has JVM, it will execute. So why Java is platform independent? Java is executed on JVM, okay. And whatever the OS it's you are using, Java program don't care about that. What Java program always look for? Java program always look for the corresponding JVM installed in that OS. So it's just looking for JVM, not OS. So that make it platform independent. Okay. Mention steps to execute Java program. How Java programs are being executed. What are the steps to execute a Java program? So in order to execute a Java program, we use two steps. Two steps execution is there. For example, your first step is you just create one file. What is the file? Let's say you created one file and the file name is abc.java. Okay. So this Java have two main characters. One is compiler, Java C compiler, and second is JVM. So whenever you write your code, this is called high level instruction. High level instructions. Instructions. This is called high level instruction. Okay. Why high level instruction? Because this is a human readable format. The code you can understand what exact it means. What happens when it passes through something called something called something called Java C compiler. When it passes something called Java C compiler, Java C is a compiler. When this code passed to the Java C compiler, when this code passed to the Java C compiler, this is the first step of execution. Step one. This is the step one of execution. This is called compilation stage. So when it passed through the compilation stage, this Java file is converted to dot class file, and that dot class file is not a human readable format. Only JVM can read that file. So this is converted into abc abc dot class. It's a class file, it's converted. So this is the step one, two-step execution Java have. Okay, step one is a compilation. In compilation, what is the input? Input is a Java. What is the output? Output is a class file. So it converted to the class file. This class file is also called bytecode. And this bytecode, it's called bytecode. And this bytecode is only, who can read? Only JVM. Only JVM can read. Only JVM can read it. Okay, so this is something which is only read by JVM. So JVM only can read this. Human can't read it anymore. So first step is providing security to your code. Now your code is secure. Nobody can read, copy things from your code. Now second stage is it's go through something called JVM. So this is, let's say, JVM. This is called JVM, Java Virtual Machine. And this code passed through JVM. This code passed to the JVM. So when this code passed to the JVM, okay, this is obviously step two. Step two. Step two. And this is called interpretation step. This is called interpretation or runtime. Or runtime. Okay. This is called interpretation or runtime. Let me write here. Interpretation or runtime. See, whatever I am teaching, just single video is more than enough. Okay, these videos are actually more than enough. If you don't um, know Java, if you don't know program, and but you memorize what I'm teaching, it's more than enough to answer the questions, and it will not take years or months or quarters to complete Java, your basics of Java, then appear for interview. You can quickly do it just by watching the video. It will save you a lot of time. Okay, just these questions are asked simple. Okay, the person who is asking question is not a proper Java developer who only do Java. He's an IDAM developer. So he will not ask you very rocket science question, but still rocket science level question I am covering. Okay, so the first question is how Java programs are executed. It executed in two steps. You have to answer. First step is a compilation step where the code, Java code, is passed through the Java compiler and it converted to .class file or bytecode. Now this bytecode is passed to the JVM, and this step is called runtime step or interpretation step. And here finally JVM convert your code to something which only and only your only and only which your platform can understand, your operating system can understand, which is called 0101 format. Okay, so this is the format your computer will only able to understand, and this is called your binary code. Binary code. Okay, this code only your OS will understand. This is your binary code, and only OS understands. Okay, only OS understand this code. Okay, now your operating system knows what to be done on the particular program, what you exactly want. Okay, so the Java is executed in two steps. The first steps, what are the steps? Javas are executed in two steps. Okay, two steps. First is abc.java is converted to class file using compiler, which is called compilation stage. Second stage is interpretation or runtime stage. Second stage is interpretation or runtime stage, where the dot class file is converted to the binary code. So Java program is executed in two steps. First step is a compilation step. Second step is a runtime or interpretation step. Remember, first step is a compilation step. Next step is a runtime or interpretation step. Okay, I hope you understand. Just okay, I hope you understood. So second step is a runtime and interpretation step. So I hope you will able to answer this question also. Mention the steps to execute Java program. Now, what is the next question? Say you have a dot class file into Windows environment. Okay, let's say, let me draw the diagram what it's saying. This is a window environment, let's say. In this environment, there was a Java file. There was a, see, what was the possibility? There was, let me just draw it like this. This is a window environment. Okay. In this Windows environment, which is called Windows. This is Windows environment. In this Windows environment, again, two things are there. One is this, and another is this. Another is this. Let's say you have written one code over here. What is the code you have written? You have just written one code. Let me just write a code for you. Let's say I've written the code, and the code is abc.test. You have written. What is this? This is Java C compiler. Java C compiler. Now, when you pass your code through the Java C compiler, what is your expectation? Whenever you pass your code with Java C compiler immediately convert your code to bytecode or bytecode. No, it will convert your code to the class file, right? abc.class. Okay, so it will convert your code to the class file, and here is your JVM. Here is your JVM. Now, this class file, this JVM can execute and convert it to the binary code. Now, what is the question? You just copied this class file from your window environment and you taken it to one Linux environment. Let me just go to this Linux environment. This is Linux environment. Let's say Red Hat. This is Red Hat. So what they are saying, you just taken this class file. Obviously, Red Hat also have its JVM. Okay, Red Hat also have its compiler, which is called Java C. Red Hat also have its compiler. Red Hat also had its JVM, right? Now what you have been told, you have copied this jot class file to the Linux environment. Simple. Let's further read the questions. Say you have a dot class file into window environment and want to execute it in a JVM which is present in Linux environment. Will it work? I mean, will this will this file will this file will this file will be executed by this Linux JVM or not? Will this file will be executed by Linux JVM or not? The question is, will this file will be executed by Linux JVM or not? I hope the question is clear. Will this file will executed by Linux JVM or not? Now let me tell you here one thing. Yes, it's 100% possible that dot class file of one environment can be executed in another environment. Yes, it's possible, 100% possible. Okay. For JVM, it doesn't matter where the dot class file is generated. Whether the dot class file is generated on Windows environment, whether the dot class file was generated in Linux environment, whether the dot class file is generated on any XYZ environment, it will convert that dot class file to the binary code which is understandable by that OS. Let's say if this dot class file I had passed to our Windows JVM, so that Windows JVM will convert it to machine code, okay, or binary code which look like this. Let's say 0101. Okay, this is the code finally got converted. Similar way, it will also convert to the machine code, and let's say it's a different OS, so machine code could be like this 1101. Anything means same thing which is written here. This JVM has its own style or method to make the operating system understand. Okay, it has its own way by which this corresponding OS will understand. Okay, it's talking in, let's say this is Kannada, Bangalore, where we speak Kannada, and this is, let's say, Delhi, where we speak Hindi. So this JVM knows all the languages. Okay, this JVM is a JVM who is a regional JVM, and like let's say you have a, for example, Aadhaar update office, right? So if it's in Delhi, they will speak to you in Hindi. If it is in Kannada, they will speak to you in Kannada, right? So they know their native language. So this dot class file come to it, and it will make this native people, native environment to understand what we have to perform. Similarly, this JVM knows what we have to perform. It will make this environment, make it understand. Okay, so this environment will understand it. So yes, the answer of the question is, if you generate dot class file in one environment, will you able to run it in another environment? Yes, because for JVM it doesn't matter where the dot class file was generated. It will convert that dot class file into the binary code understandable by that particular OS. Okay, let's come to the next question. Who makes Java platform independent? As already told several times, this is the component JVM which makes Java platform independent. So what makes Java platform independent? JVM makes Java platform independent. What is the location of JVM and Java C compiler? What is the folder location? Right, so it's actually found in some C drive location when you install Java. No need to memorize it, just for your understanding, it's in a C drive default location. It could be any other location. So Java C is present, let's say, in program file. Okay, in program file, let's say you install Java folder, you will see in Java, let's say you see JDK folder, let's say JDK 1.8 I had installed, so 1.8.0, and there you may see some folder called JRE, and JRE we have something called bin, and in bin we have something called java.exe, and this is nothing but your JVM. This is nothing but your JVM. Java.exe is your JVM. Java.exe is your JVM. What is JVM? Java.exe is your JVM. Java.exe is your JVM. Okay, so who is JVM? Java.exe is your JVM. Okay, and where is your compiler? Java C compiler. The Java C compiler is found in JDK location. No need to memorize, just for your understanding. And its name is Java C.exe. Its name is Java C.exe. So Java C.exe, Java C.exe, Java C.exe is nothing but your Java C compiler, your compiler. Your compiler. So who is your compiler? Java C.exe is the compiler. Who is your compiler? Java C.exe is your compiler. It's found in C drive. It's a default location. It could be changed by developer to developer. Okay, but Java.exe is called JVM, and your Java C, Java.exe is JVM. Java C.exe is compiler. Java.exe is JVM. Java C .exe is compiler. Okay, I hope you got it. Where to put external jar files related to Spring or Hibernate? Let's say in your project you are working and you got some external jar files to work with your project. So where is the location where we store our external jar file? We store our external jar file in, always just remember this folder name called ext folder. In ext folder we store our external jar file. Where we store? In exe folder we store our external jar file. Okay, means generally how it look like, let's say you went to the JDK folder, inside the JDK folder there are multiple subfolders are there. Okay, out of that multiple subfolders I am interested in a folder called JRE subfolder. When you go to this JRE subfolder, again multiple subfolders are there, and I am interested in a subfolder over here which is called lib, library. All library related or jar files are found here. I am interested in library. Okay, lib. In this lib folder, all the jar files are found, especially let's say your rt.jar file, right, which is the core Java. I told your rt.jar is here. rt.jar is here. Okay. And inside this lib folder, there is a folder which is called ext folder, and in this ext folder you can put all the external jar files, just for your understanding. So where to put the external jar file related to Spring or Hibernate? We can put external jar file, just a second. Okay. Okay. So where to put the external jar file related to Spring, Hibernate, or any external jar file in ext folder? What is the current version of Java? See, in OIM we use Java 1.7 11G. Okay. uh, you may sometime use 1.8 also. Okay, but you can come while creating your jars external, you can again compile it at 1.7. But in interview they will ask you what is the latest version of Java in 2024. So the latest version of Java is JDK 21. Java 21 is the latest. Okay, so keep in mind Java 21 is the latest. What is this? JVM act as dash engine to run Java application. JVM act as a runtime engine. Runtime. You have seen, right? It's a runtime engine. It's a runtime engine. JVM act as a runtime engine. What is JVM? JVM act as a runtime engine. JVM act as a runtime engine. JVM act as a runtime engine to run Java application. JVM is an dash that run codes dash. It will not ask in interview like this, but it will be asked what is the runtime engine of in Java. Who is runtime engine? JVM is runtime engine. Okay, so I had created in dash format, so you will understand it. JVM is a runtime engine. JVM is an interpreter. You have also seen, right? JVM is an interpreter. Okay, interpretation is done here. So JVM is an interpreter that run codes line by line. JVM is an interpreter that run codes line by line. Okay, so this is just for understanding. The main question is here in JVM, what are the three major component? Can you tell me the major component in JVM? What are the main components of JVM? So in JVM, we have three main components. In JVM, we have three main components of JVM. In JVM, you don't need to remember the architectural diagram of JVM. Simply, there are three main component of JVM. Number one component, class loader subsystem. Class loader subsystem is the first component. What is the second component? Second component is execution engine. Second component is execution engine. What is the third component? Memory area. What is the third component? Memory area. So class loader subsystem, what is the use of class loader subsystem, memory, execution area, and memory area? Let me just give you with a diagram. Let's say you have a dot class file. Let's say you have a dot class file. Let's say you have a dot class file. How JVM work on your class file? What is the purpose of JVM? To read your code line by line, right? But in order to read the code line by line, if it loads your code first to some memory area. In order to, where it load your code to some memory area. Some memory area it load your code. JVM load your codes to some memory area. Okay? Some memory areas. Some memory area JVM load your code. Who loads the code before JVM read? It first load the code to memory area. Who loads the code to the memory area? It's a class loader subsystem. It's a class loader subsystem. Who loads the code? It's class loader subsystem. Who loads the code? It's class loader subsystem. Who loads the code? It's simple. It's class loader subsystem. Here, let me mention class loader subsystem. So class loader subsystem loads your code. Class loader subsystem loads your code to the various memory area. Just remember this. What is the purpose of class loader subsystem? It loads your .class file that need to be executed, that need to be read line by line into memory area. And what are the memory areas we have? We have so many different memories area. Some of them I'm going to give name. Some of them I'm going to give name. We have different memory area. Some of them I'm going to give name. Some of them I'm going to give name. Some name I'm going to give. First is method area. Method area. Okay, you don't need to remember all the things. Heap area. Heap you need to remember because all the objects are found here. Then stake area. Okay, then we have something called PC registries. There are so many method area, so many memory areas. For you, the two memory area for me is more important, which I remember in my usual life, is method area, because this is the area where the class is actually loaded, and when this class is read line by line, its corresponding objects which is created are loaded in heap area. So you don't need to remember all these things, just you have to remember JVM main purpose is to read your code line by line. JVM main purpose is to read your code line by line. In order to read your code line by line, it has to store your code somewhere in memory area. Who store the code in the memory area? Class loader subsystem is the one which store your code in the memory area. When your code is stored in the memory area, when your code is stored in the memory area, then there is something which need to read your code line by line. Then there is something that need to read your code line by line, and that something is called execution engine. Execution engine, which is called execution engine. What what execution engine does? What engine does? Execution engine now read your code line by line. Execution engine executes the code in the class file line by line, which is loaded in this memory area. That's it. What are the main components of JVM? JVM itself is a very big topic, and out of that topic, which interviewer is interested is about three main components of JVM. Simple, remember the purpose of JVM is to read code line by line. In order to read code line by line, JVM has to store the code somewhere, that is memory areas. Some of the memory areas are method areas, heap areas, stack area, PC registry. Some of the memory areas are method area, heap area, stack area, PC registry. Okay, who loads there? Who loads your all the dot class file codes to that memory areas? Class loader subsystem loads. Class loader subsystem loads all your code to the memory area. Now, who will read this code in the JVM? This is one component who do this. This is another component inside JVM, and there is a third leg of JVM which is called execution leg. This leg read all the code, and what we say from the outside, JVM is executing my code. But how JVM is executing it code? JVM take a copy of your code to the memory area, and in that memory area it execute that code using the execution engine. Okay, so these are the three main component. Let's come to the next question. I hope I was able to answer. In JVM, what are the three major components? In JVM memory area, in which memory area objects are stored or objects are saved? Okay, objects are stored is the correct word. Okay, which memory area? As I told, heap area is the area. Heap area is the memory area where objects are stored. Always remember, heap areas are the area where Java objects are stored. Okay, next question. Class test. Okay, it had no, it looked like it don't have any body. Okay, without anything in the class body, will compiler compile it? 100% compiler will compile it because it's not a syntactically wrong. Okay, but when you execute this program in JVM, will it give error or what is the error? Yes, 100% JVM will give error, because the, always remember, the JVM has a character. It always look for public static void main method in your class file. If your class file don't have a public static void main method is not inside your class file, JVM will always throw an error. JVM whenever starts, right, the step one for the JVM is to always check is there public static void main is written or not, means main method is there or not. If JVM finds there is no main method, JVM will not execute it. JVM will throw error, no such main method. No main method or main method not available, depend on different version of Java. In 1.6 onward, up to 1.6, it was giving error, no such main method error. And after 1.7 onward, it gives an error, main method not available, something like that. Okay, but overall JVM will not run it. Okay, so I hope you got some clarity. Okay, if anybody will ask this question, you will able to answer. Let's jump to the next set of questions. What is the next question? Is it possible? Okay, so these questions are related to your main method. Some main method related questions are being asked in interview. Is it possible to change name of the main method? Let's say you have a main method. How your main method look like? Your main method look like something like this: public static void main string arguments, like this. It look like this. Okay, is it possible I can change the name? This is the name of the method, right? This is the this is the name. This is the name of the method. This is method name. So the question is, can I change the method name? I want to put any name, XYZ, ABC, hello, like anything. Yes, it's possible. 101% possible, but not possible for not easy to achieve. It's possible we can change, but where to change? See, JVM is also have a logic. JVM have its own code. Okay, at the end all are programming, right? So JVM has its own code. It's mentioned inside the JVM. The main method name, first step for JVM is always look for a main method. And when you look for a main method, the name of the main method is main. This is how it's mentioned to the JVM. Like JVM, when you start looking, see, what is the step one for JVM? Always remember, JVM step one is look for a main method. Okay, there should be some main method, and the name of the main method should be main is strictly told to the JVM code. If you want to change this name of this main method, you have to redefine the codes of JVM. If you can redefine the code of JVM, I don't know how it is done, honestly, but I'm just telling the answer. If you redefine the code of JVM, and here you just change the name. Here you just change the name. Here you just change the name from main. You can change it to KT port. KT port. Then JVM will next time onward, if you write public static void KT port, JVM will understand it. JVM will understand it. Okay, so yes, it's possible to change name of the main method to any other name, but we have to change the source code of JVM for it. Okay, I hope this able to answer. Okay, next question. What is string arguments? Okay, no, not this one. Why main method is public static? Okay, and with void return type. Okay, the question is why the main method is mentioned public, why it's static, why it's a void return type, why not any int return type, okay, float return type, why static keyword is used, why public, not private protected. Okay, this just give me. Okay, okay, so the question is why it's public first of all. So main method is public, okay, because if it What is the use of public? If a method is public, you can call it from anywhere. If this method is present in any class, any other package, not in this method is present is in different package, but it's, if it is a public method, you can call it from different package. If this method is public, okay, it's present anywhere. Public give you a scope to call this method from anywhere. Okay, and JVM, if it is having challenges in calling main method, the programming will be having, the language itself is having a lot of issues. Okay, so main method call should be smoother. Okay, that's the main purpose of creating this main method this way. So public make it more smoother. Okay, if it is a public, you can call it from anywhere. Why main method is static? See, when you use static keyword, okay, in a variable, in a method, we don't need object of the class to call it. If there is, if it is a normal method, let's say there is a method called void display. If it is a normal method, so if it is a normal method, no, in order to call a normal method, okay, or which is called instance method, you need object of the class. For example, test t equal to new test, you will create some object. I'm just giving an example. Okay, you will create some object, okay, and t dot display, something like this. This is how you call a normal method or an instance method. But if this method is a static static word is used, static word is used, then you don't require this object creation part. Then you don't require this object creation part. Then you don't require object creation part. You can simply call this method with the class name itself. So test dot display, test dot display. Hey test, can you show me your display method? Can you show me your display method? You can simply call it with the test dot display. So you don't need to create an object. Since you don't need to create an object, right? It will save memory, because whenever you create object, it has to store somewhere that object, that is heap memory, right? So main method is static. The reason, so JVM can easily call this method without creating object. Since here we are not required to create object of the class to call the main method, it save memory also. So memory optimization. Okay. What is a void? Main method is void because as per the JVM design, JVM is written in such a way, okay, and its internal code, it doesn't want the developer, James Gosling doesn't want main method should return anything. This is how the protocol is defined in the JVM. That's why this is written void, because James Gosling has written main method, whoever it should not return anything. That's the reason this is how it's defined. So just keep in mind, JVM doesn't return anything. Main method doesn't return anything to JVM because JVM doesn't want it to return anything. Okay. Okay, just one moment. Okay, so I hope I was able to answer this. What is string arguments? Okay, inside public static void main, it's a command line argument. String arguments are nothing but command line arguments. Okay. Next question. Can we write public static void main string arg as static public void main? Okay, if we want to replace this two, okay, that's the question. Yes, we can do it because These are modifiers. Okay, let me just take it to here. Let me take it to here. As you see, these are called modifiers. Public is a modifier, static is a modifier. This is called access modifier, public is called access modifier, access modifier. Public is called access modifier. What is public? Public is access modifier. Public, private, protected. These are access modifier. And what is static? Static is a non-access modifier. Non-access, non-access modifier. Modifier. Non-access modifier. Example of non-access modifiers are static, okay, then final, then abstract. These keywords are non-static modifier. So in Java, okay, order of modifiers are not important. Means if you can write one modifier, another modifier, say modifier 1, modifier 2, then modifier 2 also can be go first and after modifier 1. So order of modifiers are not important in Java. That's the reason we can write it static public also, because both are modifier. Okay, I hope it answered this question. Next question. What are the possible form that we can declare string argument in main method? Okay. So this string argument, what are the combination, different combination possible? Okay. So let me just go over here and let me just show you what are the possible ways we can write. Three ways are possible. First is main string, then here you can write this array sign, then arguments is a variable name. Okay, you can also write main string, then space, and this array syntax can go with the arguments also. Then the third way is main string arguments, and here you can write. So these are the three possible way, these are the three possible way you can write main method. These are the three possible way you can write main method. These are the three possible way you can write main method. The first is string, then array symbol followed by variable name, string space array symbol and variable name together. Third, string variable name followed by the array symbol. Okay. Next, can we, okay, that is done. Can we declare the main method as public static void main string x? Okay, so yes, we can. Arguments, right? This is the word args. Here by default, what is there? Args. It's a variable name. So it's a variable name. You can write any variable name over here. So it's acceptable, not problem. What is a varargs or variable arguments in Java? Why they are used? What is the purpose of varargs? So let me just make you understand what is varargs. Let me just go to the code and let me just create a new class file over here. Let's say new, and let me create one class for you. Let's say I'm creating a class test class, creating a test class in Java. Just see this. In this test class, I'm going to write one method which is going to add numbers. So public void sum. It can add x, it can add two numbers, add x comma y. Okay, and what is going to do? Sys out x plus y. Okay, let let me here write main method, public static void main public static void main, and inside this main method I am just simply creating one object of the class new test, and t dot I'm going to call some method. I'm going to pass 1020. Let's execute. What is the output? 30 is the output. Now I want to create a Java program which can add three numbers. So in order to add three numbers, you can again create a method with different name, or you can overload the same method by changing the argument int z. We can have two method with same name, that is called your overloading, method overloading. Here you just change the constructor, so overall this method have a different look. Here two arguments, here three arguments, so Java will treat it as a different method at all. Okay, and here you can return x plus y plus z, and here you can pass t dot sum 10 comma 20 comma 30. So this method will be called, and if I add this, you can see I got a 60. I have to add four numbers, I have to add five numbers, I have to add 6 7 8 9 10, like n number of numbers. If I have to do so, I have to do it multiple codes, so many codes I have to write. Okay, right, multiple methods I have to write. It seem impossible for me in real time. User can give any number of numbers, I can say any quantity of numbers, right? User can give it. So if a user can give three numbers, four numbers, seven numbers, so it's not possible for a developer to create n number of or thousand number of methods. So here one concept comes which is called variable arguments, because what is changing, arguments is changing, functionality is same. So what Java says, variable argument or varargs or variable length arguments, okay, is a way where you can accept multiple number of argument, which give you a power to accept multiple number of arguments in Java. It give you the power to accept multiple number of arguments. It give you power to accept multiple number of arguments. Okay, how it's been implemented, let me show you. It's implemented using three dot triple dot. Okay, let me show you how. So first of all, let me just delete this code, and I don't want thousand of method. Here itself I am going to do changes. Here what I'm going to say, I'm going to say, see, in future there could be n number of arguments may come, right? 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, n number of arguments may come. So what I can do, I can store those argument not in variable, rather in some array. So int space 1 2 3 dot and give a very array name. Let's say ARR. When you give this array name ARR, one second, ARR, what will happen? One array will be created. One array will be created like this. One array will be created like this, like this, like this. Okay, of infinite size. Means the more variable you will pass, the more size will be increasing, keep increasing for this array. Okay, now whatever the number you will pass, it will go to this array. Let's say t dot sum. You can pass n number of arguments, 1 2 3 4 5 6, whatever quantity you pass, whatever is the number of arguments you will pass is completely okay. Okay, means it will easily go to that particular array. Here, since now you are giving this, this triple dot, right, which is nothing but varargs. Okay, variable length argument. Now it's giving you power to pass n number of argument. Now how to deal with this is simple array knowledge. If I write 1 2 3 4 5 6, it will store 1 2 3 4 5, and one more box will be created, 6. Now you should know array concept. The array name is ARR, right? The name of the array is ARR, is the name of array. One second. Okay. So its name is ARR. So this section is called ARR of 0. This section is called ARR of 1, and similar way these sections are ARR 1, 2, 3, 4, like so on. So if you know array, it's not a difficult task to find the sum of that. Let me just create a variable called it sum. Okay, just don't worry about what I'm writing, okay, how I'm writing, just what you have to understand. Because what is the main thing they will ask you, using the where arguments, what problem you can solve. You can solve a problem where you are earlier bounded to pass 1, 2, 3 arguments. Now you can pass n number of arguments. That's it. And it's achieved by triple dot in the argument section of a method, followed by some variable name or array name actually, and the return type of this. So I created one let's say variable called sum. I'm just going to write a for loop int I equal to 0, I less than, until the length of array, right? So array length of the array means it will give the length of the array, means because I don't know the length of array, right? It could be 6, 7, 8 in runtime. It could be 10 letters, 20 letter, 50 letter, 1000 letter, I don't know. Whatever is that letter count, it will be the length of the array. ARR length, what is my length? 1, 2, 3. It will count the character, this function. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will give me 6. AR or length I plus plus, simple. And here I'm simply going to add it. So sum equal to sum plus ARR of I. So sum equal to sum plus 0. So earlier the value of sum is 0. So 0 plus whatever value is present in ARR of 0. So ARR of 0 is nothing but 1. So 0 plus 1 equal to 1. Simple. Now what is the value of sum? Sum is now having value 1. Now what will happen? I plus plus means I will be becoming 1. Okay, so here again it will come sum equal to sum plus ARR of 1. So what is the older value of sum? Older value of now sum is 1. 1 plus ARR of 1. ARR of 1 is 2. So 2 equal to 3. So this is how it will completely calculate, and the final sum will having the output. So I will just print sum. I will just print sum, and that's it. See, 21 is the result. On runtime, I can change the argument to anything. I can change it to anything, and it's going to give me results. Simple. So my purpose was not to make you scared by the program. My purpose was to make you, just to show you what is variable arguments. It is something which give you the power, okay, where you can pass multiple arguments to a method, and how it's defined using triple dot. So that's the problem it's solving. That's the purpose of variable argument. I hope you understood what variable argument is solving. Okay, next question, can we replace string with varargs in main method? Okay, so what it's been told here as a question. um Let me write to the notepad. And yeah, what's it's been told, it's been told, can we replace this with a variable arguments? Can we replace this thing with variable argument? Yes, because here at the end what you are capturing, you are capturing arguments in the form of array, and that same thing is done by variable arguments, right? So here I can simply, the same, all thing will be same, public static void main, and here I can write like string 1 2 3 dots and the variable name. That's it. It will also do the same thing. Here it's capturing everything in the args array. Here also it's capturing everything in args array. Simple. So yes, I can replace. Okay, yes. Now next. Okay, can we, how many questions? Almost done, right? Can we declare the main method with a final keyword? Okay, yes, we can declare main method with a final keyword. That's possible. How it is declared, let me tell you. Public static final void main. We can declare like this. string args. We can declare like this. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Now let me give you some overview over here. It's acceptable, not a problem. It's acceptable, but it's not a common practice. It's acceptable, but it's not a common practice. Use final keyword. Why? Because when we declare main method as final, what happens when you do anything final? When any method is final, you cannot override that method. Okay, you cannot override the method. If you declare any method as final, if you declare any method as final, it can't be overridden. It can't be overridden. Simple. So no subclass can override main method after that. No subclass can override main method after that. Okay, that will be one thing. But now let me tell you here one important note. Since whatever I'm doing here is totally useless, what I'm doing, if I write final, nobody can override this. But since it's useless, why I'm saying it's useless, as when a method is declared static, when a method is declared static, what is the use of that? When a method is declared static, then anyway, no one can override that method. Why? Because whenever you declare anything as static, means that value is not going to change. That's the meaning of static. It's a constant. Static means constant. So since already main method is static, and since main method is static means main method no one can override. Static also says the same. Since as when a method is declared static, then anyway no one can override it. No one can override it. So declaring final to stop overriding is totally a useless thing, because we are final keyword stop that method to getting overridden. Okay, but static itself is doing the same job, right? When it's a static, you cannot override any static also. You cannot override final, you cannot override static. So static is doing the same thing. What is the purpose of final, right? We can declare main method with final keyword, but it's useless, as final, whenever you declare any method, you cannot override it. But since main method itself have one another word which is static, and the purpose of static is to stop the method to get overridden. So already that feature is available with static keyword, so there is no use of using it. Next question is that can we overload the main method? This question can also be asked like, can we have more than one main methods? Can we overload the main method? Yes, we can overload the main method. But keep in mind, JVM will only execute the main method which is having string arguments, because it's strictly mentioned there, not any other method. Let me just simply show you. Let me simply show you over here. Let's say this is one main method, and let me just remove all of this. Main method sysout actual main. Okay, and here also I'm going to write one more main method, public static void main. What is overriding? Overriding of any method means everything will be same, only the arguments will be different. So here let's say I'm creating int I as an argument, so you can override like this, no error at all. Sysout int main. Okay, let's say, well, let me one more override. Copy it, paste, int I comma int j, two args method, two args main. Now let me run it. Actual main is only executing. So JVM you can overload, but it's useless, because JVM will only execute the main method which have a string arguments strictly written in the JVM. Okay, If you overload, you can go ahead and overload, but it's a no use because JVM is not going to execute that. Okay. Next question. Do Java support inner methods? No, Java don't support inner method. Inner method means method within a method. So this is one method. Can I write one more method within this method? Let's say public void display is another method I am going to write. It's not allowed in Java. You see, I am getting syntax error. But I can create two parallel method to each other, but not one method inside another method. It's not allowed in Java. Okay, you will get compile time error. Okay, can we run a Java program without main method? 100% no, you cannot run. As I told, whenever JVM start its execution, it's always check for main method always, and it name of the main method should be main. So from 1.7 version onward, we must need main method to run Java program. Okay, if there is no main method, we cannot run it. Okay, if let's say there is no main method, and if I try to execute this, see, no compile time error, but when you run, it will give you main method not found. Main method must be there, whether you write anything or not, but it should be there only in 1.7 onward. Now, next question. Should Java, okay, .java file name must be same as the class name? Okay, this is one of the question which is found in so many newcomers. Let's say this is a Java file. This is a Java file, or let me write like, let me see, this is a program, class test. Test is a program. And in this test program, I am writing sysout hello. I'm writing sysout hello. Now let me save this program. Let me save this program. Let me save this program. If I save this program, what is the people, most of the people thinking, I have to save this program with test.java, but that's not true. I can save it with test1.java also, is completely fine. I can save this program with the name called test1.java, and it will not give me any error at all. When I pass this test1.java with Java C compiler test1.java, it will generate a class file with the name of the class, which is test.class. Test.class. It will generate something called test.class. Simple. Class file, class name will be generated as a class name, class file. Okay, the name of the class will be in the class file, but I can simply save this class file, this program, with any other name, but there is a condition. What is the condition? If class is not public, this is not a public class, because public class will have a public keyword. If class is non-public, then only you are supposed to do that. 1 minute. Okay, the class is not public, then only you are supposed to do that. But what if the class is public? For example, the same code, if I write public class test, same code, I'm writing public class test, and here some code, let's say sysout hello, sysout hello. Then if I save this program, then if I save this program as a test1.java, then it's not allowed. It will give error. If I will compile this code Java C test1.java, then it's going to, then the compiler, right? This is a compiler portion. This is the compiler portion. Here I am going to get an error. Here I am going to get an error. here I'm going to get an error. Class test is public, should be declared as test.java. So this kind of error I will get. This kind of error I will get. So what is the learning? What is the learning? If a class is non-public, then you can save that file with any name, but when you compile it, it will create the class file with the same name. The class file name will be same as the class name. But if a class is public, then you are forced to, or you are bound to create a class file. Then you are bound to, just keep that word bound, you are bound to create, save this file with this same name, test.java. Okay, if you save this, then it will work, but if you don't save, it will not work. Okay, so what is the learning here? The learning is, if a class is public, then .java must be, means file name must be same name as the class name. Else, if it is non-public, then Java file name can be different. Okay. If a Java program has two classes, then while compiling, how many dot class file will be generated? Obviously two. For example, this is a program. Okay, and in this program, let's say I have mentioned two class file, class test in single program, and I also made class prod, another program. Okay, so when I will compile this, and let's say I save this with something, since this is non-public, so I can save with any name, right? So hello.java name I saved this, hello.java name I save this code. When I will pass this with compiler, when I will pass this code with a compiler, how I will pass this code with a compiler? Java C hello.java. So compiler will not give any error, and it's allowed, because if you have non-public classes, you are allowed to save with any name. And what is the result? When I will pass, what is the result? The result will be two class files will be generated. Two class files will be generated. The first class file will be test.class, and second class file will be prod.class. Okay, so how many class file will be generated? If your code have two class, then two class will be generated. Three class will be generated. So almost and almost how, just let me, almost we are live from almost 1 hour, I think. Yeah, almost 1.5 hours, almost 1.5 hour we are live. And I covered the introductory Java interview questions. What is Java? What is platform? What is package? What is rt.jar? Okay, uh, Java default execution program, sequentially or parallelly, sequentially, right? So in this questions, now if anybody will ask you any questions out of this introductory portion of Java, I'm 100% sure you will answer it as an IDAM developer without any issue. So before concluding this session over here, let us quickly revise one more time and then close. What is Java? We will do it in 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, what is Java? So Java is a object oriented program and platform. Why Java is platform? Okay, what is platform? It's a software or hardware which a program runs, over which a program runs. Like operating system is a platform where other program like VLC media player runs. Why Java is called platform? Because Java have its own runtime environment, which is JRE, actual JVM, right? To execute the Java program. So Java doesn't depend on any other environment to run its program, because it has its own platform. Hence, Java is having its own environment or platform, which is called JRE. That's why it's called platform. Okay. What is package? Collection of class file. What is jar file? Collection of packages. What is framework? Collection of jar files. Okay, simple. Learning core Java means learning rt.jar file. Give some example of packages which is present in rt.java. For example, IO package, .NET package, util package, applet package, AWT package, RMI package, IO package, lang package, math package, okay, etc. etc. Java by default runs program sequentially. If you want to execute parallelly, you have to enforce threading concept. Why Java is platform independent? Java execute on JVM and it don't care about OS. It just need JVM. It just look for where the JVM is installed or not. And if JVM is installed, it's execute. So JVM makes Java platform independent. Okay, but JVM is a platform dependent thing. Okay, for Windows we have a different JVM, for Linux we have a different JVM. What are the steps to execute Java program? There are two steps to execute Java program. Number one step is a compilation step. When you pass abc.java, I hope that diagram is still available. When you pass abc.java, that is converted to .class file, which is a byte code, and this is only readable by JVM. Is not human readable. Java file is human readable. Class is JVM readable. And when you pass it to the JVM, it will create a binary code or machine code. Simple. Okay. Next question. Say a .class file is generated into Windows environment and I want to execute in Linux environment. Is it possible? Yes, 101% it's possible. Okay. If because JVM, for JVM it doesn't matter where the .class file was generated. Okay, what makes Java platform independent? JVM. What is the location of JVM? Is found under bin folder java.exe. What is the location of Java C? It's found under bin folder javac.exe. What is the folder where you can put external files? Ext folders. Okay, what is the current version of Java in 24? JDK 21 or Java 21. Java act as a runtime engine to run Java application. JVM is an interpreter that runs the code line by line. What are the major component of JVM? We have three component of JVM, as I told. Three components of JVM. First is class loader subsystem. See, JVM, the main purpose is to execute the code. To execute the code, JVM has to store the code in some memory areas. Okay, who store the codes to the memory area? Class loader subsystem stores the code to the memory area, and once it's loaded in memory areas, and there are different memory areas: method area, heap area, stack area, PC registry, and there are other also. Then in JVM we have execution engine that execute it. So class loader subsystem, what is the purpose? It loads the .class file into memory area. What is the purpose of memory area? This is the area where .class file is loaded. What is the purpose of execution engine? It execute the code in class file line by line. Simple. Okay. In which area objects are stored? Heap area. Will this give compile time error? No, because compiler will not give any issue, but it's give runtime error. As I told, whenever JVM starts, it always look for a main method, and if there is no main method, JVM will say there is no main method as error. Okay. Okay, then next, is it possible to change the name of main method? Yes, it's possible, but you have to change the source code of JVM for that. Why main method is public, static, and void return type? Public means you can call it from anywhere. Okay, static means JVM no need to create object of the class, and since no need to create object of the class, it will save memory, because object creation need, objects which are created are stored in heap memory, so it need memory when you create object, but here no memory we need to create, so it's a memory utilization. What is the return type of void? Because as JVM source code it's written, JVM should always look for it designed in such a way, JVM don't want any return type from main method, so that's why it's void. Okay, if you return anything in the main method, then it will give error. Okay. Next question. What is string arguments inside the main method? It's a command line argument. Can we write public static void main as static public? Yes, because order of modifier doesn't important. Okay, this is called access modifier. Okay, and static is a non-access modifier. Example of non-access modifier: static, final, and abstract. Okay. Next question. What are the possible form we can declare string array? Okay, in the main method there are only three possible form, and these are the three possible form: main, string, array sign, args, string space array symbol, args, string space array name, that variable name followed by the array symbol. Okay, next, can we declare string x? Yes, args is a variable name, so args is just a variable. You can declare any variable name there, so it's acceptable. Okay, we can what is the varargs? Varargs is represented by three dots, is give you the power where you can pass multiple arguments using varargs. Okay, can we replace string argument with varargs? Yes, we can replace. Can we declare main method with final? Yes, we can, but there is a use. It's totally useless because the static keyword is there already in main method, and due to static, no one can override. And the final, the purpose of final is to stop method to get overridden. Already static is doing the same job. What is the purpose of final? So since it's useless, as the main method, when a method is declared static anyway, no one can override the main method, so declaring it a final to stop from overriding has no use. Can we declare main method with a final is done? Now can we overload the main method, or can we have more than one main method? Yes, we can have, but the JVM will execute only the main method which is having string argument. Okay, not others. Do Java support inner method? No, Java don't support inner method. Can we run a Java program without main method? Not at all, because when JVM start is always look for a main method, so you cannot. Should Java file name must be same as a class name? Not mandatory. If class is public, then java.java file name must be same as the class name. If class is not public, then Java file name could be different from the class name. Next question: if Java has a two classes, then while compiling, how many dot class file will generate? Two class file will generate. And that's a quick revision of that. I hope this given you a broader overview, okay, of Java introduction. I will try to come up live with the next interview set of questions. I will try to cover all the item related Java item related interviews question just in 2 to 3 sessions. I will try my from my side, depend the time permits. But uh, using that, I will make sure if you just go through that video and just take a note down of that answers, you will easily crack any Java related stuff in any IDAM interview. So that's all for today. I hope it fulfilled the purpose. And now, before concluding the session, let me just talk about our Oracle Identity Manager Master Training Program. Oracle Identity Manager Master Training Program had helped so many IDEM professionals to crack their job interviews and achieve the desired package they wanted. Most of my students had got more than 100% hikes in different MNC so far. The reason is I had explained things so much crystal clear and in depth that no one globally had covered in that much in depth. Okay, if you go through the programs and watch the video, even you don't do practical, just take a note of that. Interview cracking is just piece of cake for you. And if you do the hands-on, all the things are hands-on along with the theory, introduction theory, and then we had hands-on and live, the real-time use cases we are solving over here. You can go through the modules here. We had covered everything which you need as a OIM developer, and after this you will become a complete package to crack any interview. It's suitable from a freshers to the experienced person who are even big management roles also, because this is the end to end of Oracle Identity Manager. Nothing is left here. Okay, so you can go through this course. If you want, you can buy the course from the website itself, and if you want, you can directly ping on the number which is shown to you for the enrollment. Here you will get the complete course. Okay, and along with that you will get my support on when you perform the hands-on. Okay, if you get any issues, you can ask me doubts. Okay, and on time to time I will also try to come up with some interview revision things when time permits. Okay, so this is the complete package, and what we are offering is a lifetime access. We're not charging any recurring access for yearly based subscription or monthly based subscription. Okay, and one more thing, if you uh, need for any discount, we are already giving the the program in discounted price. Further bargaining may not help you, because if you bargain further, you might not get a response from me, because there are multiple people who are reaching out to me, and I really need genuine student, because everything has its value, everything has its effort, and we are charging what exactly is the core value of this product. Similar way, you are asking the company hike, right? From 30% to 50% to 200% depend on the value you have. Okay, because what suits you as a product. Okay, if company is not giving you that salary which you really deserve, which you think, then definitely you will not going to join the company. Same goes here with this product. Okay, so here it's have its own value, and it cannot go lower than that. If you want, if you, because some candidate comes, I don't know, uh, they just try to, sir, I don't have money, can I like this? So please, men, work harder, get some money, then come back and join the program. Because here, what I'm going to give you the value, whatever you are investing, you are going to make 20 times more just in one single switch. Okay, so that's not a big deal. Okay, that level of return even stock market will not give you. Okay, where which you are getting here as a part of the course. So just you can explore. Enrollment is, just you can enroll and watch free videos. These are some free videos, free preview available, and after that you can enroll from here, or you can directly reach out to me on WhatsApp. Okay, so that's all for today. See you in the next video, folks.